All right, let's get into the next team. He also had a series with the Heat and the Hawks. I definitely call this one be a sweep. I remember this one. I thought this would be a sweep, but yeah, of course, he's ready. But
Okay for this one.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, man. So recap the series. He beat the Hawks 4 games to 1. Beat them in 5 games. So you're the resident Heat fan. What you have at it first? Reaction to the series.
Told you, man. 4-1. I had to give Ice Trey one. He got his one, and I like what we were able to do to him in the playoffs. Uh, Shout out to Coach Spo. Always, always got an elite plan. I was watching the clip earlier that we played, and just inspired. You know what I mean? With how I'm seeing him run down the court talking about defense, deny. Like that's the type of like environment that Miami is. In basketball wise, and they got it done. Even though we missed Kyle and Jimmy in that last game, and Kyle in the game before that, we got it done. So I was glad to see my guy Victor Oladipo back out doing his thing, stepping in. No matter what, you stay ready. Next man up is the mentality for the playoffs. So, and to see him like just being him again, I'm glad to see it. So, shout out to my Heat. Let's get it done. Let's keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to you, Heat. But I want to bring attention to something real quick. Trae Young is such a liability defensively.
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't say. I mean, the Heat won without Jimmy Butler on the floor. Victor Oladipo stepped up, so shout out to him. Shout out to him. Shout out to Tyler.
Yeah.
So they really stepped up in Jimmy's absence. But I predicted the Hawks to lose, but Trey has some really ice cold games this series, and this is a defensive team in the Heat, so I get that. I do. But I feel like a lot of people, all NBA teams are going to come out soon. I do not want to see Trae Young on that list. But I feel like he's going to be on the list based on what a lot of these media people are saying. I don't think he's a top 15. I don't think he's a top 15 player. Not all NBA is like who are the best players that year. I don't think Trae should be on that list, man.
So, all right, quick question. Yeah. Did you think prior to this series and this playoff, all right. Did you think he was top 15 then?
Good,
or
good question. Good question. Good question. All right. So, all right. In total, you got 3 All NBA teams, 2 positions for guards. So you got six guards. All right. I'd rather see Steph. I'm trying to count out. See if I'm good.
Okay.
See if we agree. Steph, Ja. Let me see. DeMar. Then DeMar's forward, so he don't count.
I mean, he plays both, but
I don't know where they'll put him, but I feel like they probably put him forward. So
yeah,
I'll probably
give him a 3.
I'll probably keep him off. All right. Shit, I can't say Kyrie. You play enough games. I got to think on the top of my head here. But man,
6 best guards right this year.
Let me think. Give me some names, man. I'm blanking right now.
CJ McCollum.
Yep. But should he be All NBA this year? He played well. I keep naming some more.
Devin Booker.
Yep, for
Chris
sure.
Paul.
Chris Paul for sure. That's 4.
Let me see. You need 2 more.
I'm not giving Donovan.
Jaylen Brown is technically a 2 guard.
Who you say?
Jaylen Brown.
He did have a good. I don't know All NBA though. I don't know. Maybe He's an option. Who else? I gotta think. Not Clay.
someone who's usually there, James Harden, but I wouldn't say.
I wouldn't give it to James Harden this year.
Let's go back to the West and let's say
he could. So based on that, he could potentially get in. I'm wrong because I can't think of anybody else. Because Damian Lillard didn't play the season. Jamal Murray was out the whole season. Like there's some key players that could have had a good season. Russell Westbrook seasons was a dud. You had just a lot of different players. So he probably could get in now that I think about it. So, dang, you get something wrong. You got me right there.
I mean,
he better be third team. I'll say that. He better not be first or second. He better be third team. All in me. Like,
no, you go to the end of the bench, Trey. You up here. You don't start
third team. But man, it's just because honestly, you're right. Before the season, the stats stand out. Yeah. But you gotta remember the Hawks were great in the. Wait, was it the bubble? What was it? Just
it was just last season.
It was last season, right? Yeah. So
they had that big turnaround after Nate McMillan took over as head coach. Had a huge mid-season turnaround where they went from like 10th to a mid-seeded playoff team.
Yeah, and to go to the finals. Right, and to go from that to they're really trading at the bottom half of the Eastern Conference for a minute.
Yeah.
And they started trending upwards. And again, there are some injuries to some teams. Like the Cavaliers, they weren't the Cavs. And, so I just expected more from the Hawks. But I'll give you that one. I can't think of I couldn't think of 6 on top of my head. But I think that was just my reaction to the trade because I was like, man, give me something on offense, man, because you're already going to be getting killed on defense already. So,
right. I think I'm not denying that. I'm not saying he shouldn't be all NBA or anything. I think that he had a great regular season, but he's also going up against a deep defensive Miami team where he's got all attention on him. And I feel like what was the play-in game he had before that? Cleveland?
Yeah. Okay, they're injured. They had injuries too, so I expect them to be Cleveland.
There is you just have to be physical with Trey. I feel like is the big thing because he's only a 6 foot if that guard, and if I feel like if you get him out of rhythm early, you have a better chance. And I feel like that's what they did. They kind of trapped him and shrunk the floor for him because he if he gets in the lane, he's got the floater and just making sure they denied him a lot of the time. So, but I mean, I can't deny his stat line and 73 games this season, he averaged 28 and almost 10 assists. So it's not like and his team did eventually make the playoffs, even though they didn't start the best. I'm not gonna say he's not all NBA though. I think he can slide in there with that type of stat line at least.
Yeah. I guess you're right about that one. I guess you're right. So, I guess we also have to talk about what does this mean for the Hawks. So, what do you think? Do you think the Hawks had a successful season?
No, I wouldn't. This wouldn't cause me to be like, oh, I need to pull the plug and get a new coach or anything like that. I think that they would have had a better season if it weren't for Collins' injury. I feel like that was a big part of it, and they kind of started off slow, which they did the previous year too. But we saw them go where they went. But if I'm comparison from season to season, you pretty much had the same team. Minus Lou Will. So I would just have to count it as not a successful season, but I don't think it's worth blowing them up. And Gumbo thinks the same. He wanted to make an appearance. So.
What's up, Gumbo? But looking at these clips right here, I forgot DeAndre Hunter had a breakout game. That game.
Yeah.
He brought him back almost by himself. So I was impressed with him.
Yeah.
So I was very impressed with him.
Definitely I didn't think he could shoot as well as he was shooting. So
Yeah, and he was a good shooter, but like to pull up like that, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, this two right here. Trey missed a key free throw. What's up with that? What's up with that? I think that was another reason I'm like so upset. I was like, come on, man. I forgot about that for a second. He did miss a free throw playing the game.
Yeah.
But it happens to the best of players. I'm not gonna lie. Have KD miss a free throw, but I feel like that was on purpose though. And I don't know. Anyway, that's another. That's another. Okay. I thought he missed. All right, well, I guess talk about that. Well, let's talk about it real quick. At the very end, I thought that KD. You remember he was holding it up with Blake Griffin and everybody. It was like they were talking it out. So I'm like, okay, right. They're probably talking about missing it on purpose. I thought you wanted to miss it on purpose, get the rebound, and potentially make a game-winning play. That's what I thought. So everybody was saying that he missed a free throw. I thought he missed it on purpose.
Yeah.
Am I wrong in thinking that? Like I thought KD missed that free throw on purpose.
I have to go back and look at it, but
I remember that scene. He was holding up with Blake Griffin for sure. I think somebody else was talking with him, but I thought KD missed that on purpose.
I mean, it's for sure uncharacteristic of him because he's like for the most part, like a 90% free throw shooter most of the time.
Right, but all of that series was a dud. He was missing free throws in that series. I'm not gonna lie, but in that moment, he was looking like KD in those last couple minutes. Like,
yeah.
I thought you missed on purpose. That was mine. That's what I thought. But
you may be thinking something else, and I may be jumping the gun a little bit. But when they were talking about, I was watching the game on ESPN. It was Philly and Toronto, and I think in First Take, Stephen A. Smith might have said something that insinuated James Harden was trying to blow the series so the Doc Rivers would be like,
I heard that
Tony could be higher because that's him and Daryl Morey's guy. And I was like, dang, that's a far reach to go.
Hold on. Hey, if you're trying to call my take as stretching as that, I don't think that's fair because he pulled that out from like way back. Stephen A. was so off base with that opinion. Mine's not that fabricated. I think mine is pretty reasonable. KD.
No, that's fair. It just made me like going free throw shooter. My bad.
And you clearly see him hold it up. So, and we seen plays in the NBA before where they hold it up like, bro, Robinson missing. They hold it up for a little second.
Yeah.
I remember different plays. I'm a Thunder fan. I remember you're in the playoffs against Houston. Steven Adams talking with Russ. Russ missing on purpose. Steven Adams got the rebound, passes out to Russ, deep three. We're in the game some more. So, like, it happens in the NBA. So,
yeah,
like,
for sure.
I was just saying, but I'm not like, no, not Stephen A., bro. That was, he was reaching.
No, I wasn't saying you were reaching.
Reaching foul everywhere with Stephen A., man. Like, he was really reaching. I remember when I heard that, too, man. I was like, no way.
Yeah. I didn't think you were going that far with it.
Not that far, man. I thought mine was a little bit more reasonable, but for real though, the Hawks, I think because they were on the brink of not making the playoffs at all. So shout out to them for even making it.
For sure.
I just wish they won at least one more game. I know I called for the sweep, so it shouldn't matter for me. Like, but still, I think they should have. I think they were capable of winning like another game.
I mean, they very well could have won. What was that? I guess it was Game 4.
One of them.
It was like one of the games at their house, I believe.
Right.
And Miami just happened to go on a run at the end of the game, but I think the Hawks will be fine. They just had a tough year. I feel like with injuries and stuff. Capello was late coming back too. That was a factor because Trey didn't have that type of like lob threat at the basket. So he's got all the attention. John Collins was 100%. DeAndre Hunter surprisingly stepped up, and like I was glad to see some growth from his side. But even Gallinari was like decent for parts of the game, not consistently, but they'll be fine next year, I believe it.
Yeah, I think overall, you can say that the season was a success for them. So yeah, they came back. But I just want to see a little bit more. I want them to go into at least the second round next year. Because again, you still lost in the first round after coming off a deep playoff run the year before. So if you're a Hawks fan, you're probably definitely disappointed, at least a little bit. And this too, the Eastern Conference got a lot better this year. Who thought the Cavaliers would be where they are right now? The Hornets had a pretty good year, and they're getting better. So I think you just gotta shout out to these other Eastern Conference teams. And to me, it seems like the Eastern Conference is, man, it's almost, you remember the age-old tale, like the West is like the best conference competition-wise, but now the East is a beast in my opinion. Now, like it's like you got a whole bunch of really good teams on the come up, and it's getting really competitive in the East. So, yeah, I think the Heat are doing great. Shout out to the Heat. Hawks, I think you had a decent season. I wouldn't call it a failure. I think it would be a little disappointing though, based on where you were last year. But that,
I guess I agree with that. I think it's just disappointing in comparison. So
yeah, because we never expected them to go that deep in the playoffs last year, and to not make it out of round one, this definitely seems like, compared to that, it's like, man.
Yeah, you mostly have the same team.
Right.
Yeah.
You do. You're right. You literally have the same team. So
yeah, they didn't have Lou Will, but